Hello children, today we are going to study about habitat. What do we mean by an habitat? Habitat is the living place of an organism. Our planet Earth is home to millions of organisms, millions of plants, millions of animals, birds, insects, etc. We can find animals and plants on land, in water. If we talk about land, then we can find animals and plants in deserts, forests, etc. Now, what do we mean by an environment? Environment is everything that surrounds the organism, which affects their growth and development. Environment can be of two types. They are consists of two components, living and non-living. Now, what do the habitat provide the organism with? The habitat is the natural surrounding of the living organism. They will provide them with proper food, proper shelter, proper climatic conditions. So what are the different habitats? We have water like ponds, rivers, we have forests, we have deserts. We can find organisms living in all these different types of habitats. What do we find in water or pond or river? We find fishes, we find lotuses. What we find on trees? We find squirrels, monkeys, different type of insects. Deserts, of course, camels and the thorny plants of cactus. And forests are home to a wide variety of animals and plants and colorful birds, insects, etc. Now, depending upon the places where they live, the habitats can be categorized into different types. Let us see what are they. The first type of habitat is the terrestrial habitat, or the habitat which consists of the land part. What do we have? The different types of habitats on land. We have deserts, we have mountains and grasslands, and we have forests. The animals which live on terrestrial habitat are known as terrestrial organisms. What do we find? We find horses, cows, hens, pigs, all these which live on land, and even camels. They are known as the terrestrial organisms. Next come the aquatic habitat, or the organisms which live in water. The organisms which live in water are fishes, then we have different kinds of plants, we have lotus, we have hyacinth. They live in lakes, oceans, rivers, and ponds. All these are aquatic habitat, and the organisms which live in aquatic habitat are known as the aquatic organisms. Then we have the arboreal habitat, or the habitat of trees. The animals which live on trees like monkeys and lizards, they are known as the arboreal organisms. Then we have the aerial habitat, or the organisms which fly in the sky. Of course, birds. The birds, they stay in the sky, they live, they fly in the sky. That's where they exist most of the times. So they are the aerial organisms, and the habitat is known as the aerial habitat. Of course, there comes another category of organisms which can survive on land as well as in water. For example, frogs, toads, crocodiles, they can live on both land and water. They are amphibious habitat, and these organisms are known as the amphibians. Now, what are the different components of a habitat? As I told you that an environment consists of two parts, living part and as well as the non-living part. The living component which of an environment includes the plants, the animals, which form the living component of the environment. The environment around in our surroundings, we see different kinds of plants and animals. They are the biotic component, the living component. Then we have the non-living component of the environment around us. In our environment, what do we see? We see soil, we see rocks, we have air around us, we see water around us, we see light, sunlight. Then we also feel the temperature. All these things are surrounding us. They're affecting our growth. How much is the temperature? How much amount of sunlight we are getting? How is the air quality? How much amount of water we are getting? So all these effect are the growth and development of the living organisms. And if you notice, soil, rock, air, water, light, temperature, all these are the non-living components of the environment. The non-living component of the environment are known as the abiotic component of the environment. So that's all which we are going to study about habitat lesson for today. Thank you.